Bruce Thompson for BT Pilates. Exercises, stretch and massage for sesamoiditis. I have about 11 things I want to show you. That's a little confusing. But if we know the basic themes, we'll know what to do. There's two major causes of sesamoiditis. We'll start with what's the most likely in older people. It's the malalignment of the toe, Hallux valgus, or bunion toe. Now, the sesamoids are directly under the ball of the big toe. I'm pointing to them now. If we take the toe and put it into valgus, the sesamoids, watching my fingers, move laterally so that the fibular sesamoid is no longer engaged with the ball of the big toe, while the tibular sesamoid is immediately under and is taking all the load. So overload means damage. You get sesamoiditis and the pain under the ball of the big toe. The other cause of sesamoiditis is overload when the tendon's going around a sharp corner. There's a sharp corner. Now dancers are going to do that, especially ballet. If we now push into the toe, we've got a high load on the tendon while it's going around a sharp corner. Add in ballistic jumping and bouncing, and sesamoiditis is very likely. We can unload the toe by trying to lift it and relax it and go around the sharp corner with the tendon. That's okay. Or we can load the toe, but with the tendon in a straight line, and that's okay. We just don't load and send the tendon around a sharp corner at the same time. That will cause sesamoiditis. Exercises on the mat. The first thing we do is simply joint distraction, pull and twist, and glide. Now, the second thing we do is a gentle mobilization, doing our best to relax the muscles of the sole of the foot, because we don't want to high load and send the tendon around a sharp corner. We do that just by rocking back to the comfortable point. See, the heels are wide, and just back and forward. I said earlier that the number one way to avoid Hallux valgus and sesamoiditis is to go barefoot 100% of the time. For a lot of us, that is not practical. So at least in exercise, we can splay our toes. So you'll see this is a dominant theme in what I'm telling you. Splay your toes. We go into 4+1s. Splay the toes. So you land your big toe and send your little ones wide. You can use your fingers to help with that. So the toes are splayed. Now we look at lifting 4+1. Lift the ball, lift the big toe while the 4 toes stay down. And initially it's not wired into your brain, but eventually it will happen. How high can you go? 4+1s. Lift the small toes while keeping the big toe down. This is painting an awareness of the toe movement so that it's easier to consciously relax that toe when we've got a big bend in the ball of toe tendon. Standing exercises. These are all to do with splaying the toes while the ankle's going up and down. And the first one, we splay the toes. It's good to do that with the fingers. And we just do an isometric loading with the tendon in a straight line, so the heel comes up. If you're watching, it won't come up very much. It's like unweight the scale. And we just stand on that. And we can do it one-legged. We can put hands on a table. But if we can hold that isometric contraction for 1 to 2 minutes every day, 6 weeks, guess what? No more sesamoiditis. You've loaded the tendon in a straight line, and it will heal. Walking with toes curled up and wide. So you just spread your toes up and wide, land them, and away you go. Now the knees are going to be slightly bent as you land, and you're just looking for a nice, tall, loose, relaxed stride, rather like the girl from Ipanema. Eccentric exercise for the flexor hallux brevis. The flexor hallux brevis is the muscle that points the big toe down like that. It's straight and it's pointing down. That's the flexor hallux brevis, or strictly the flexor hallucis brevis. So what we do is place the ball of the big toe on one foot at the level of the heel and about 8 centimeters apart. We spread the toes wide and we lean into the back foot and lift the heel. We lean over to the front foot and lower. So lean into the back foot and lift, it's loaded, and the flexor hallux brevis is lengthening. Come off and come down. And again, just pushing into the front of the foot. The heel comes up with the flexor hallux brevis loaded. Keep it loaded and come off. As we do that, just make sure you don't take the heel too high, because the more bend we put into that sesamoid apparatus, the more irritation and potential arthritis around the sesamoids. Doorstep, or in this case, stairwell heel lowers. Feet on a step with the heels hanging over. Spread the toes wide. And then just go down and up. The toes are wide. We can't get very much movement up and down with the ankles, and we don't want too much. You'll feel your toes all gripping because the muscles at the front of the sole of the foot are stretched wide, so the muscles are activated and they're gripping. Doorstep heel lowers. What is the action of the muscle that works through those sesamoids? The muscle is called the flexor hallucis brevis. It's the lowerer of the toe, and it points the big toe down like that. Not like this, it doesn't curve it. It points it down. When we're working the sesamoid muscle, it's pointing down like that. It's not curling, it's pointing down. Toes splayed while seated. We just get the feet off the ground, except for the toes, push them wide, and then splay the soles wide and land them back down. Now we push the left feet into the side of the chair. We can feel a good stretch that's straightening up our big toes, and we're also encouraging the flexor hallucis brevis muscle and tendon to become more comfortable. If we can think about relaxing the toe, the big toe, so it's not pushing into the ground, still think about energetically splaying the toes, but not pushing the big toe into the ground. And that is a very good exercise to compensate for the fact you can't go barefoot all the time. To get the sesamoid apparatus working in a nice relaxed fashion without loading when the tendon's going around a sharp corner, we need to stretch, massage and mobilise all the structures below the knee. Just a very quick summary of that, we can do calf stretches, and there's various sorts of that, but we can do ankle glides. This is how we do it. Strap-assisted ankle glides. I'm using a racing bike inner tube, but any bike inner tube will work. We stand with a heel on the bicycle inner tube, and we just take that out. Now, we're splaying the toes, so just get them wide. And now, just do a sort of a plie here, just, yeah. And if I stand upright, it's just easier to push into this heel here. And that's a strap-assisted ankle glide. That'll get flexibility back into the ankle so that the ankle can move more at toe off and the ball of big toe can move less. Less tendon going around a sharp corner. Massage. Getting all the structures massaged out and loose and limber and getting back control of the whole foot and ankle will help with this problem of sesamoiditis. So we can massage the calf muscle. This is quite good with the ball. It's particularly important to massage this big toe side gastrocnemius. You can do that with thumbs. And massage the sole of the foot. We can just use thumbs. And we can use a ball while standing. And massage the shin muscles. That was exercises, stretch and massage for sesamoiditis in the ball of the big toe. This is Bruce Thompson for BT Pilates.